Super Idol de Charo, domain needed 10 by each hung for the.
Would it be controversial to say that I think Expedition 33 is only a really great, really great RPG and not one of the foundational texts of the medium in video games? That's what I agree, because when I was going to like the nominations for the categories and shit, yes, I'm able to get it now. The nominations for the categories and stuff compared to like KCD compared to this Expedition 33. I'm just like, yeah, KCD is actually a better RPG. Then that's who I gave my vote for. When you look up the term RPG, who's gonna be there? It's gonna be BG3, it's gonna be the fucking Elden Ring, and it's gonna be KCD 2. I mean, I'm just giving examples of good RPGs, right? When you have choice and stuff, and you're able to do a lot of things and customization, and like you're able to choose. It's role play. It's role play. Expedition 33 isn't really role playing. Like you're just playing as the characters. Like yeah, it's an RPG, you know, but there's not much RPG elements in it. You get what I'm saying, right? Like it's like a strategy more type of game, and the game is already going in one direction, one linear direction, right? So yeah, I agree with that. I mean, of course, still game of the year, but yeah. Except from the visuals, I can't think of anything it does better than Metaphor v Fantasio. Ooh, I haven't played Metaphor yet. I know it's good, but I don't know, man. I love Shoji, but I don't think Metaphor's soundtrack is on the level of Expedition 30. Really? And that soundtrack is great. Like, I didn't even play the game yet, but I listened to some of the songs, bro. Story and soundtrack is better, but I know most don't want to agree. The story, voice actors, gameplay, atmosphere, characters. I don't know, man. That's definitely a debate. I'll probably make a video on that when I eventually get the Metaphor. Someone called it the white savior of JRPGs, and I can't get that out of my. Yeah, that made a sense. I think it's funny that it took a JRPG being French for Jeff to give a shit about what. Yeah. Well, I will say it is innovative in the story and narrative categories. That's why I gave it my nomination for Game of the Year, over KCD 2. But KCD 2 is more of an RPG. That's why I gave it the RPG nomination. But I was already set on giving it my Game of the Year nomination. From the jump, since like before the game came out, like last year when I saw it at the Xbox showcase. Like I was already set. It was really hard to choose between KCD 2 and Expedition 33 for sure. But like I was sitting there for like 10 minutes, man. It's the type of game people who don't like this are afraid of to like RPGs will gas up to be the best things to slice. But that is true. Yeah, I agree. 33 is a culmination of years of evolution, not a foundational block. I do think it deserves a Game of the Year this year for multiple reasons, but to act like it's the Holy Grail is a bit. Yeah, that is true. Like, yeah, again, in narrative and shit, story, that was above the combat, which is in like a bunch of other games, right? It's just saying like metaphor and stuff, like JRPG shit, right? Not that it's bad, but it's just like okay, like you've seen this before type of thing, right? It's not like Elden Ring or BG3. It's a little bit different, a little bit more revolutionary, right? It is revolutionary in a sense, but like innovative, right? Like you're adding something to the genre. Amazing art piece, but under the stunning visuals, voice acting, and compelling characters and story, it's an alrighty, slightly linear RPG with gameplay comparable to anything that came before it. Yeah, true. Feels like a throwback in a good way. I have been saying this, man, is good for sure, but it's not as good as. Yeah, would I vote BG3 over it? Yeah, even though BG3, it's crazy, right? Because BG3 narratively, I think Dragon Age writing is better than BG3. Yeah, it's not a crazy thing to say because they, again, like BioWare made BG1 and 2, and then Larian made BG3, right? It's not far-fetched, but I think BioWare does it just a tad bit better in terms of story and, it's a unique narrative and stuff. BG3, yeah, it's good. It's fun. It definitely Game of the Year. Very innovative. one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. But the only thing that would be quote unquote lacking is just like, you know, the narrative being somewhat, it is unique, but just like BioWare, that's the standard. Well, it was the standard. But anyways, yeah. You get it, yeah, you get it. I'd make the distinction that while we're obviously have to wait and see what impacts it has on the industry, Expedition 33 is potentially very much one of the foundational texts on medium video game development, but otherwise no art. Yeah, I agree too. There's like 33 of them, bro. I think it was actually 34 or 36, but 33, bro. I do think it'll definitely get more Western devs to go into that type of genre of games, so it is also good for that too. You're fine. Not every amazing game has to be treated like the Dead Sea Scrolls of gaming. The Dead Sea Scrolls aren't even. Yeah, I just watched a Expedition Unknown. Yeah, they found texts that are like 2,500 years older than the Dead Sea Scrolls. They're calling it the Red Sea Scrolls. Anyway, that's just my little history, bachelor history brain talking. As a ginormous RPG fan my whole life, I absolutely love Expedition 33. However, part of the major love for it is that it is the very first RPG many people have played that has you. Oh yeah, no, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's good in the sense that I agree. Like, it's good in the sense that it opened up, right, for Western people to get into the type of, you know, JRPG genre type of combat gameplay, right? Definitely good in that. Most of us, or a lot of us, haven't played a JRPG yet, so definitely, I agree. I mean, it's too new to be foundational, but it's clearly a monumentally important game, not even just because of how good the game is or isn't, but how it was made. Yeah. It's a fun game to play, but in my opinion, the story and performances only get high praise because most of what people compare them to are so bad. Huh? I mean, if we're comparing them to performances this year, there's a lot of good performances. Like, yeah, you have Kingdom Come Deliverance, VAs, voice actors. You got Death Stranding voice actors. There's a lot of people that could have been nominated. They nominated like 3 people in Expedition 33. So, and it's not saying the others that didn't get nominated are bad. It's just 33. It's a pretty good game. VA was good. Notice this is a joke and not serious, and I still got a little mad. Yeah. It's an 8 out of 10 game being treated like a holy grail, and I don't get it. Yeah, because there is things, like, I mean, when I think about it, I probably said in my review, that could be better with the game, obviously. It's definitely no lower than an 8 out of 10, for sure. Do I think it's game of the year? Yeah. KCD2, is it? I mean, I think I'll give both games like a just scratching the surface of a 9 out of 10, right? But would I put Elden Ring above them? Yes. 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 That's a whole in-depth conversation, bro. I mean, they all definitely can be 9 out of 10, but you know, I don't know which one better. I mean, they're different like types of RPGs, right? They're both individually like different RPGs, so different games. Just as the industry loves the underdog story of the studio and how they escaped the evil Ubisoft. Yeah. This create Game of the Year with their tiny band of 30 employees as a passion project. It gives them to say that's funny because Ghost will take Ubisoft. I think at the very least we can all agree that it definitely deserves to be on the front runner for Game of the Year. The fact that this is Studio's first ever game and they are able to even get in that conversation of being a foundational game is still insane to me. Yeah. That goes for 90% of all games of the year contenders. People act like every game has to be the next Super Mario 64 in terms of influence when and can't just let a great game be a great game and that's it. I feel like this year, I mean, yeah, for sure. When you look at the Game of the Years, they're not really revolutionary. I would say, in terms of revolutionary, KCD2, yeah. Adding something to the genre, KCD2. But I feel like Expedition 33, for me personally, is a little bit more enjoyable. Partially because of the, yeah, I think the story just tipped it over the edge for me to vote for Expedition 33. But it's really the only thing. Like, it's just like, it's the whole game is like a, like, there's like a performance, right? That's why they got 3 in the category. It's like a performance. So I just really like Expedition 33 as a game. Why does the discourse have to be in? Yeah, everyone's now turning on Expedition 33 because they're mad. People complain about Expedition 33 fans being disrespectful to other games, but I feel like the people that yap nonstop about Expedition 33 fans being tasteless tourists and shit in a game, are probably louder. It actually is. I mean, that last tweet wasn't about it, but like, you know, it's giving into that conversation a little bit. Expedition 33 is my game of the year, but the conversations around it are like hearing from folks who have eaten nothing but cardboard their entire lives suddenly trying a Chili's triple dipper. Like, yeah, dude, that's just what food tastes like. You did, yeah. I mean, like games like this, yeah, like Metaphor, like it came out last year. It's not really, in terms of what type of game it is, it's not superly revolutionary. It's still very, very good, right? But I mean, that's just like a testament to the JRPG genre, right? There's like a lot of really, really good games that could have possibly been game of the year, but because, you know, they're JRPG, they was never nominated really, you know, or talked about at least as much.
Shot at a black man and took his shoes. Customized my AR like a Black Ops 2. Just scammed a white kid out of some Gorilla Glue. I don't wanna fuck this bitch, she smell like poo-poo.